Welcome in, everybody. Glad you're with us. MLB The Show brings you the National League Championship Series. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays. It's buzzing in here ahead of Game 3, and we'll be back in a minute to get it started. About to get started here, our starting pitcher in this one, Matt Walter. What do you have on him?
Well, there are going to be a lot of balls in play because of the ground ball rate. Important that the defense stays engaged in the game. I think it's critical. Tempo is there. If you work quickly, it helps the fielders behind you to stay engaged, to make those plays, and help you get through the innings.
Ready to go? Now it's the shortstop, J.P. Crawford. That catches the outside corner. So we're off and running in Game 3.
Off the plate, ball one. Ball, that's inside.
I would throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
Swings to strikeout. The batter now, Jorge Polanco. Swing and a miss, and a knuckler down in the dirt.
0-1. I got a ball, one strike.
One out, base is empty. So a foul ball makes it 1-2. A foul ball, he stays alive. And the pitch. Up the middle, and that one finds its way through. So a man aboard now with 1 away. Now here is Cal Raleigh.
You know, Riley made history in 2023. He had a game with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs, becoming the first catcher in Mariners history to do that.
Speaking of games,
he's the second fastest to 50 home runs in Seattle history. Only A-Rod beat a few of them.
That one almost hit him. Yeah, swing and miss.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again.
Two to count.
Polanco stands at first with 1 out. 3. And there's 2 down. Here's Josh Bailey. Out the thing very deep, not wanting anything over their heads. Strike 1. He's gone. The go-ahead run is at first. Game 3 of the NLCS. Late on that fastball. I think we'll sit back.
No ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2
This
strikes.
one in the dirt. Here's a 1-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Right side, hard hit. Jimenez out of first. And that is that. Back here at Rogers Center. Starting on the mound in this one, George Kirby. Chris, how about the scouting report?
Well, I'm interested to see how he utilizes his sinker to this lineup here. You know, it's not necessarily his go-to primary pitch, but he does mix it in when he needs it. He's just got to make sure that it's not flat. Otherwise, it's going to get hit hard. So look for him to throw it up there when he needs a big double play, a ground ball, something like that to get out of an inning, change it up for a hitter. Also, get those hitters looking down so it opens up the top of the strike zone, especially late in an at-bat.
Cameron Heiser leading things all the pitches strike. In the air, left field, Canzone. Balls it in for the out. One down. Bichette up to the dish. Obviously a guy who makes good contact, hits for average, but one of the things in today's game, the value in the fact that he hits both righties and lefties. That's in there. They're so reliant on the matchups nowadays, Chris, and it's huge when you don't have to sit a guy or platoon.
When you can hit both sides in terms of pitchers' arms, you're a guy that it's hard to take out of the lineup, and I think it's very important today when everything is under the microscope. Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. Got the top of the ball a little bit, but not much. That was hit pretty far through the infield, so I think he'll be happy with that swing. Definitely great. Good batsman.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. stands in now and watches strike one. Next one misses. And one. Big swing and a miss.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Headed towards the corner. And that is a foul ball.
Did he go?
Tries to hold up, appeal to first. No swing. Gary Simmons with the call. Into center of the base hit. And the postseason success continues for him.
Couple of singles back-to-back. That's about as textbook as it gets. Got his stride low, out of the way early. He stayed inside that ball and squared it up out front. Man, that was like he was in the cage hitting off the tee.
George Springer in the box with one away as he takes ball one.
So all eyes on the double play ball in this spot. Very
Get on the ground, might be two. Swings to second. On the middle. Two. It's game 3 of the National League Championship Series. And now it's Julio Rodriguez. Walt back to work. Hard hit right side. Fires over to Guerrero. Put up one down. Stepping in for the Mariners, Dominic Canzone. Chris, you and I have gotten to work some memorable postseason games together. One I look back on, 2013 ALCS Game 2, the David Ortiz Grand Slam. Second inning here, no score. A swing and a miss, and that's strike one.
For me, the game I remember is us calling the 2014 AL wildcard game. The Kansas City Royals hosted the Oakland A's. The Royals come from behind to win in extra innings and move on to the division series. They had such a great run that it ended up in the World Series, losing to the San Francisco Giants.
Eugenio Suarez stands in with 2 away as he takes a ball. Swing and a miss, strike one.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And count 1-2 after the swing and a miss.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Knuckler in the dirt, swing and a miss. Catcher has it, fires to first.
He's out.
Got it. Inning over on the strikeout. Back now in Toronto. Routes the right fielder, Wilyer Abreu. outside.
That's outside.
And that is ball one.
Running off of that pitch until you get to 2 strikes. It's just a low percentage of success when you want to try to go after that down and away pitch.
That one ripped. And a foul ball. It's a strikeout. And now it's Dalton Varsho. Just
Nope.
missed.
Outside.
That one finds the zone, and it's 1-1.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
One upstairs there.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
On the ground, Polanco fires over to first, and that quickly 2 away. Addison Garza next up for the Blue Jays. And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
The only adjustment he needs to make is his target. If you aim at the outside corner, that slider's going to end up way off the plate.
Ball 2.
Perhaps look a little more down the middle, and you get it right where you want it.
Gets the outside corner with that. And there's a foul ball.
Instead of letting the hitter get his arms extended, tied him up a little bit, slightly up, slightly in.
Misses, it's a strikeout. And welcome back to the ballpark. And now the right fielder, Mike Yastrzemski. Ball 1
Inside,
there.
ball 1.
Another
That's
ball.
inside.
The throw is in for a strike. And that one hammered way back there. And it hits the fence. Makes the turn. He's digging for second. It's a leadoff double to start the 3rd. Now it's Randy Arozarena. Puts a bunt down. Fires over to Guerrero. Out on the sac bunt.
That's exactly where you want that sac bunt to go. Down the third base side, good execution, exactly where you want that bunt to be.
So the lineup flips over. And now the shortstop, J.P. Crawford. A little out front there as he swings through.
The key to his success is getting ahead early in the count. He cannot afford to go deep in the bounce. Doesn't have a ton of swing and miss stuff, so he's going to have to work efficient.
Inside, just missed. One away with a runner at third. Here in Game 3 of the NLCS. Now it's even up.
Good late single fastball out of the hand of Sergio. Sometimes it's some hitters are hard to get the barrel to.
We got a full count.
That at bat is a positive sign, even though it probably doesn't feel like it. You hit the ball hard, but it doesn't always work out in your favor. Sometimes the defender is there to make a play.
Swung on, popped up on the infield. Guerrero. And makes the grab. And that'll do it. Bottom of the inning. Here's the catcher, Carlos Narvaez.
Ball.
A 6'4 lefty, 205 pounds, and he's one of the few players in Major League Baseball born in Hawaii. Next offering is in for a strike.
Well, it looks like he's going to work the upper part of the strike zone. What does that mean? Top hand better be working for the hitters. Adjust that side a little bit. Give yourself a chance.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Inside edge. Right through there for a strike. On the ground, right side. Polanco tosses the first. 2 up, 2 down. Back to the leadoff spot. The Blue Jays lineup. Cameron Meister, the next to hit. Strike 1. And a bunt towards third. And it goes just out. In
1 ball,
dirt,
2 strikes.
Is 1 and 2. And a swing and a miss. And that's that. And we're back. All set for the start of the inning. Now the Mariners catcher, Cal Raleigh. Outfield playing very deep, not wanting anything over their heads. Swing and a miss.
For these Mariners, as this game goes on, have to be more disciplined at the plate. So many of their outs have come from weak
1 ball, 1 strike.
pitches they're chasing outside of the strike zone. You can't do much of anything with those locations, and that's been true again today.
Next offering is foul back.
And as a pitcher, when the hitters are swinging at everything, you feel no need to challenge inside the zone. Just keep working the corners and expanding that strike zone and beyond, and they just keep eating right out of your hand.
Tosses the first. Leadoff hitter retired in the 4th. And now it's Josh Naylor.
Well, maybe approaching this at bat with a bit too much determination.
Out of the bullpen for the Jays, Max Scherzer.
Still pretty early in the ballgame, so this bullpen has some work ahead of him. Best case scenario might be if he can come in here and get several quick outs, kind of bridge the gap that starter left there.
That one for strike 2.
While the both start out of the game, this quickly becomes a bullpen game, and this is something we see more and more in the game today, especially in the postseason.
1 down, base is empty. That is the zone, and the count is even
2 balls, 2 strikes.
That one is lifted in the air. Varsho pulls it down and he makes the catch. And it's 2 away. And now for Seattle, Julio Rodriguez.
Well, those can be pretty fun as an outfielder. Got to put it into his highest gear and go a long way to track that one down. Nothing better than that. You feel like a wide receiver playing football.
Swings through that.
Well, that's that slurve right there. He threw extremely well. I thought just a ton of breaks. So tough to get that barrel to.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
Threw that fastball right by him, slightly elevated. That's a confidence boost for this guy out there on the mound. See if he continues to climb the ladder.
Gets a piece and stays alive. Drilled towards the center field. That's well struck. That's back. Makes the catch up against the wall. Back here at Rogers Center, ready to go, bottom 4. And now, Bogus. Yeah. So that is in for a strike at 95. Despite a great defensive effort. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now, 1 for 1 with a single so far. And that's in there at the knees for a strike. Here's a good opportunity to say,
this is where they need to get going.
Runner at first with no outs here.
That's in. Ball 2.
Continues for him.
2 consecutive base hits for this team. Really nice job staying up the middle with his approach. Didn't try to do too much with the pitch, just shoot it through the infield.
Springer
Inside,
to
ball
bat
1.
next. Lays off for a ball. That's through there for a strike. And now it's even 1-1. Force foul ground. Squeezes it. Running back to second. Just the same. Pitch misses. Down 2-2. Spire. He's kind of a prototypical bullpen arm in today's game. Less than oh, that's a strikeout, and that will do it for the inning. It's Game 3 of the National League Championship Series. Stepping in for the Mariners, Dominic Canzone. Scherzer back to work.
Count
Well,
1-0.
these Mariners just lacking discipline at the plate in this ballgame. They've been chasing pitches outside the zone all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've been fooled quite a bit.
1-1.
The next pitch misses. 2-1.
You got 2 balls, 1 strike.
Swing and a high fly ball left field. He's got it. And there's 1 down.
That's just a really nice catch on the run right there. He saved extra bases for sure. If the pitcher's his friend, he'll give him a second to catch his breath before he's ready to deal the next pitch.
Suarez in the box now. No ball's going to strike.
Ball, that's off the plate.
Swing and miss. There's the changeup.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Swing and a miss. Takes the fastball up the ladder for a strike 3. Here comes Mike Yastrzemski to the plate. Doubled his first time up.
for a strike.
0-1's the count.
Next
Nope.
pitch misses
That's inside.
A ball, one strike. The 1-1 is fouled off. The 1-2. That's
2-2
in
the
good.
count.
Keeps the attack going with a foul ball.
He's mixing his pitches really well. Late on that fastball, obviously, a changeup. See if he can elevate one. I think if he does a good swing of this.
He takes it inside to the bag, and that'll do it. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Here's the center fielder, Galt Varsho.
Tried to bunt for a hit right there, and you can tell he's trying to get something, anything going offensively.
Outside low. Not even 1-1.
Well, these Jays need to bring up the quality of their bats and specifically their swings. They're trying to find ways to drive the ball with some authority, but it's just not happening for them so far. 0 extra base hits in the game, so it's been tough for them to get anything going.
Some high twos for strike 3. Addison Barker digs in now. He's 0 for 1. That one drifts inside.
Sometimes you have to keep chipping away until you break through, but it's a lot easier to put runs on the board when you have runners in scoring position because they put themselves there.
Downstairs. Ground ball right side, and that chance handled. On the run, sends it over to first, and they get the out. Carlos Narvaez now at the plate. Struck out looking at his first at bat. Fought off foul. 2 down, nobody on. Here in game 3 of the NLCS. That one finds the zone, and strike 2. Swings and misses, struck him out. Back now in Toronto. Now it's going to be Randy Arozarena.
Well, with both starters out of this ballgame, it now becomes a battle of the bullpens and just seeing which manager can match up better and who's able to get to the finish line.
Check swing and he went
0-1.
That's 0-1. Arozarena goes 5 feet 11 inches, 30 years old now. And he was
I got a ball,
born in
one strike.
Cuba. Not even close there. Ball one. High fly ball out of the left center field. Meisner takes the catch and there's 1 gone. So the batting order turns over. J.P. Crawford will hit next. There's 2 in this one.
That's a ball.
Takes the ball. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Nice. What a play. Jorge Polanco up next for the Mariners. 1 for 2. That one fouled off. Cut on and lifted in the air. And that is that. And welcome back to the ballpark. Here's the second baseman, Andres Jimenez. Back to work. He takes the strike.
They're pretty good as far as being in the strike zone. Sure as a hitter.
2 strikes to count.
Fights it off. We'll see another. Got him swinging. Back to the top of the lineup. Cameron Meister getting ready to hit. So they're making the move for a bat off the bench. Miles. Draw. They're going to start. Something with one gone.
At the ball.
Pitch misses, the ball one. That clips the corner. All tied up here at the bottom of the sixth. Swings for the fastball up in the zone.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
On the ground to third. Suarez. Sends it across
He's
the
out.
first. And that quickly 2 away. And now here is Gorbachev.
Good late bite on that slider. Got the hitter out in front, rolled over on it. Exactly what it was supposed to do.
Smoked on the ground to second. Toss to Miller. And the Shetty puts out. 3 up, 3 down, inning over. And we're back. Top of inning number 7. Here's the catcher, Cal Raleigh. Outfield deep here, tries to prevent anything over their heads. Max Scherzer goes to work. Popped up, foul territory behind the plate. 1 away.
1 pitch, 1 out.
Now it's the cleanup hitter for the Mariners, Josh Naylor. New pitcher now for the Jays, number 56.
And they felt it was time to bring on a left-handed reliever from the pen with the lefty hitter coming up. I think it's a good move. I know I never liked when opposing teams did that to me.
Swings the out.
0-1's the count.
Way
One
high
and
in. 1-1. On the ground, right side. Take a ball.
Turned on it nicely. Definitely a little out in front of the pitch, but he didn't hook around it too much and was able to keep it fair down the line.
Julio Rodriguez up next for the Mariners. First pitch doesn't find his zone. With the go-ahead run at first here in the late stages of Game 3. And foul off. That's off the mark. 2-1.
Gonna lay off that pitch down.
That is out of play. That missed inside. Full count, 3-2. Throw to right, way back there, and the Mariners strike first. It's 2-0. One down. Dominic Manzone, the next to hit. Swings through that one for strike one. runs across in the inning in Game 3 of the NLCS. A foul ball.
One ball, two strikes.
Straight. Came out. Well, there's two down. Eugenio Suarez up to the plate now. New arm out of the bullpen, Jeff Hoffman. He has a great slider with tons of movement. Yeah, he swings and misses, and it's nothing wrong.
0-1 the count.
You're feeling like you are in the middle.
What do you got?
Swing, tried to hold up, down to field at first. And yes, he did. That's a swing, according to Gary Simmons.
Ball that side.
Upstairs, ball one.
Way to lay off that fastball off right there. You're looking for something you see well that you can handle, but you also have to keep the discipline.
Outside, that's the ball.
Up pitches that are just a little too high.
Got it. Too much on that one. Back here at Rogers Center, bottom of the seventh. And now for the Jays, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And that takes the inside corner.
This one, the offense has struggled. Sounds they'll find a way to get on, keep the line moving, and bring us back to at least one run. But maybe you get 2 or 3.
Naylor. And he's
On the tag, you're out.
That's a huge defensive play in the late stages of the game. It might not be the most challenging we've seen today, but it needed to be made. That's helping your team.
Springer at the plate for the third time as he comes up
0-1.
And this, as he was out front that time.
0-2.
That was 95 to finish him off. Now it's the right fielder, Wilyer of Brady. First pitch
Outside.
misses. 2 outs, bases empty.
One ball, two strikes.
Just misses the
inside.
mark outside the zone. Swing and a miss, and he is down on strikes for the third straight at bat. New inning getting started at the plate. Mike Yastrzemski. Little bit low.
Ball one, no strike.
Don't got to get hits off, but it's really rare for teams to string stuff together against him.
He wins every pitch, and for a hitter, sometimes the victory is just fouling off one of his pitches.
Swing and a miss as he was late that time.
One ball,
Unless he
two strikes.
beats himself, somehow can't find it, doesn't have the control command that day, pretty much forget about it.
That misses. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. As a hitter, there's even more pressure to take advantage of any mistake, right?
Yeah, and you're hoping that somehow, some way, whether it's a hit by pitch, a walk, something bad happens, because outside of that, stuff is just too good to fail. And he's got deception in his delivery, and it's not that he's trying to deceive the hitters. He just has this natural flow that makes it hard for hitters to pick the ball up. It gets on them a little bit quicker than they anticipate, even though they know what the velocity numbers are.
Towards first. And it finds its way through for a hit. And a good start to the inning.
Just one of those at-bats you almost hate to see come to an end. He kind of rolled over on this pitch a little bit, but he got enough behind it to shoot it through for a knock. And we'll take that anytime you can get him to find a hole.
At the bullpen for the Jays, Kevin Kelly.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
And here is Randy Arozarena. Got the bunt down the first base side. They'll find the tag, and the runner moves up to second. Next to hit, J.P. Crawford. And it's swing and miss. One out for runner at second with the top of the eighth.
Nope. Ball one.
Next off from his foul back. Swing and a fly ball in the air out towards right center field. He's got it.
And there's two away.
And up next for Seattle, Jorge Polanco, 1 for 3. Drive. That's a base hit. Coming home. He'll score, and it's an RBI single, and they take a 3-run lead.
Didn't take long to get a result for that at bat. Showed a willingness to drive that pitch the opposite way. Didn't get jumpy, didn't try to pull the ball, let it get deep, took the barrel right to it, and then extended through the swing for the line drive base hit.
That first offering is fouled off. Hit hard, the foul off to the left. That
one ball,
close.
2 strikes.
And that's ball 1. Fouled off. And they'll do it again. That's
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Puts it in the air out towards left center. Brings it in. And that's the 3rd out. On to the bottom of the 8th. And now the center fielder. Nope, Marshall.
That's the ball.
It's 1-0.
Got to keep things airtight defensively right here. On your toes, ready to make a play. If you can get this to the 9th with a 3-run lead, it should be a W. In this situation, you expect the batters to be a little more patient, possibly take until they get a strike. You don't want to miss your opportunity to head early in the count. He did right there.
There you go.
Trying to hold up. Now to appeal to 3rd. And he held back, according to Larry Bullen. This one in the air. And there's one down. So up next for Toronto. Now being new for a pinch hitter. Cam Smith. 1 out, the base is empty for him.
Ball, that's out.
Outside edge. That's ball 1. That's in for a strike.
Really good cutter
One ball,
that he's
1
able
strike.
to front door and back door. That pitch is devastating.
The 1-1 is fouled off. Boils the 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. 2 down. 2 down, base is empty. Here's the Toronto catcher, Carlos Narvaez. On the ground to the left. Suarez.
He's out.
First in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Back now in Toronto. Here's the first baseman, Josh Naylor. Kelly back to work. That one finds the zone. That's strike 1. Out to short. Bichette gets it to first. Now 1 gone in the 9th. And the batter now, Julio Rodriguez. He's already homered here in this one. That first offering is fouled off. That's out to center field. Varsho after it. Pulls it in for the out. Out number 2. 2 outs, base is empty. Now the left fielder, Dominic. New pitcher now for the Jays. Bernardino.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of them right here. Trying to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Outfield playing pretty shallow. And first offering is fouled off. 2 outs. Swing and a miss.
Well, there's a certain point
No
where you
ball,
have to
2
commit
strikes.
to what you think you see, and he guessed wrong right there. Nasty slider with just terrific power to the end.
Up with it, fires the first. That completes the strikeout, and that'll do it. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Now it's the second baseman, Andres Gimenez. A 6-3 left. Years old. First round pick. Back in 2018. The now pitch hitter for the Blue Jays, Davis Snyder.
Just looking to get on here. Give him something to work with as they try to make a comeback.
There's a swing and a try. Rodriguez pulls that one down, and there's one away. He's 2 outs away. Here's the left fielder, Miles Straw. Grounded out his first time. Just missed.
Inside.
Facing a closer that delivers big-time velocity.
Well, normally against a big arm with
out.
this kind of velocity, you look for the ball down because the fastball up is a little hard to catch up to. But he's showing really good plate discipline by not offering at that last pitch down.
That's ball three.
He's looking for some firewood right there. I'll tell you what, you're not out in front. Pretty dead fish. You'll be looking for a new down.
I got 3 and 2.
Bases empty, 1 away. Here in the late stages of Game 3. Wow, we'll see another payoff there. Good job to fight that one. Slamming a ground ball up the middle.
He's out.
So they get the out after a long ownership looks like the Blue Jays. First offering just fouled off. Now nobody out. We're in Game 3 of the NLCS. There's the final score.
Oh, this guy's so comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. Even a good pitch early in the at-bat.
3. That's it. They push their ticket to the